Ms. Jones-Henry, you say that the defendant, Mr. Jackson, swept you off your feet only to dump you after finding out you were pregnant. But you are positive he is the biological father of your daughter, Melanie. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Jones-Henry, this will be your first time seeing Mr. Jackson since you claim he got you pregnant. And Melanie, you are meeting your alleged father face to face for the very first time today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you ready to see him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Jerome, can you please escort the defendant
Yes.
into the courtroom? Ms. Jones-Henry,
Yes, Your Honor.
I can feel the anger. I can cut the tension with the knife in here right now. And Melanie, how are you feeling right now in this moment, Ms. Jones?
I'm hurt. I feel a little lost, unwanted. This is my first time ever even seeing him. I've never even seen him up, hugged him or anything, and I called him when I was little and asked him to come and see me, and he told me he would come, and he never came. And that hurts. How could he not want me? I just don't understand why I was a good child, you know. I just don't understand why he don't want me.
I can see how much that hurts you. And
I don't believe I'm her father. I never did. I know she's been with other people even while we were together. So
Your Honor, excuse me. May I address it? That's not true.
she admitted that she's with someone else. I tricked her into admitting that she was with someone else.
so wait a minute. You're saying you tricked her into admitting that?
Yes.
What did you do? Explain to the court.
When she told me that she was pregnant, I knew that I wasn't the father, but I said, you need to go check with that other guy that you were with the last time. She said she didn't know that I was lying about that. I was just speaking out of my mind. She admitted that she was with someone else.
Did you admit you were with someone else, Ms.
That's not true,
Jones-Henry?
Your Honor.
Yes, it is. It's true.
I've never admitted that I was with anybody else. As for me, I've always told her Clarence was her father and felt that Clarence was her father and knew.
That's
that he was
because
her father.
I was the only one she could get hold of. The guy that she was supposed to have been with, she couldn't find him. So then she came to me.
So, Ms. Jones-Henry, was there any other guy? Were you
No,
with
Your Honor.
any other guy during the time
No, Your Honor.
your daughter was conceived?
No, Your Honor.
So take me back to this relationship. I want to try to understand. What was the nature of your relationship with Mr. Jackson?
When I met Mr. Jackson, I met him at a club. He was in the military. We were together all week long while he was there. We wasn't a fly-by-night. We was just together. And I had no reason to believe that he's not my baby's father.
No, Your Honor. I met her at the club, yes. I was in the military. I wasn't even 19 yet. I met her. We had a good time. We talked that night that I met her. By the time I got off the phone, she was telling me, I could fall in love with you, which was a red flag to me. Like, oh no, here we go.
So wait a minute. Okay. But did you sleep with her after that phone conversation?
After the phone conversation, yes, we were together for a while. Not that night, though.
So that red flag obviously wasn't that bright.
Oh, no. It was only for just to be together. That's it. It was.
And so how soon after this did you find out you were pregnant, Ms. Jones-Henry?
A few months, and I told him. He wasn't either ecstatic or he just didn't give a reaction to anything.
So no reaction?
None.
No joy?
None.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Did he deny it at the time?
He didn't deny or he just gave no reaction.
Mr. Jackson, what were you thinking when she told you she was pregnant?
That she was lying. I just figured she was lying. I knew she was lying. And then when I said what I said, that you need to talk with the other guy that you were with, all of a sudden she admitted it then, and I was like, okay, I know what's going on here. She's just trying to trap another, military man. So.
Your Honor, may I
left it at
speak?
Yes.
I didn't need to trap a military man. I was in love with the man because we were together every day. I was thinking that we were going to get married and go. I spoke with his mother. I sent pictures to him. I didn't know what to believe. All I know, I was in love.
And you don't remember him asking you about any other person?
No, he
this
never
question
asked
he
that
says
question.
where he tried to
Such a
trick
guy.
you.
He never asked that question.
And so after you told him you're pregnant, were you still around Mr. Jackson? Did you participate at all with the pregnancy?
No, he never participated. He left.
He left, and you went off to serve?
I was in the Marine Corps. I went off my duty station changed. It wasn't that I left. Like I had to leave. That was the end of my time at that.
Exactly, and we thank you for your service. So this is a certificate of live birth for Melanie Jones, and I see mother signature. I see mother's name. Under father, I see nothing.
He wasn't there. He started to pay child support.
Mr. Jackson, so how did you find out, if you weren't there for the birth and you weren't there to sign this birth certificate, how did you find out you were on child support?
I got a letter, or the letter from child support agency, stating that I had a child. Well, I talked to my supervisors, my superior supervisors. They asked me, "Are you going back to Tennessee?" I said, "No." They said, are you the father?" And I said, "No." They said, "Well, then don't worry about it." So I didn't worry about it. I said, "Okay, no big deal. She'll go after the guy that she was supposed to have been with."
So you got a letter.
At the time, my check started getting garnished. I was getting like $35 every 2 weeks. Well, at that time, a girl in our finance department told me, she asked, "Why are your checks so small?" So then I said, "Because I'm paying child support." And she's like, "Well, I tell you what, why don't you sign up for BAQ, which is dependence pay?" I signed up for dependence pay, but the only way I could get that is if I signed saying I am the father of their child, of Melanie.
Legal lesson number 1, when the court calls, you answer,
Right,
right? When
Yeah.
they give you a date, you show up.
right.
So there was
though-
a default judgment probably entered against you.
Exactly.
But then at some point, you get another piece of advice, that since your checks had been garnished, they were small.
Right,
In order to get more money, you had to sign up for what was called dependence pay.
right,
But you had to get some dependents.
right.
And so what you did is you said you signed an affidavit of paternity, meaning you basically signed an affidavit of paternity, acknowledging paternity.
Right. I was 19 and
And if you feel that strongly about something, you take care of it to
Yes.
the end.
You
Yeah.
fight. You fight. Melanie's
That's what I
just
had.
not a meal ticket. She's a
And so
child.
at this
That's what I-
point,
that-
so
to
wait
you,
a minute.
She was a meal ticket, but
No, she wasn't.
$35 a check.
She's my child. I've been here. I stood with her. I was there when she cried. I was there when she asked for you. I was there when she wanted you, and you didn't want to be with her.
And so, Mr. Jackson, you just said something in open court right now. You just said in court, she was your meal ticket. Do you believe that Ms. Jones Henry was just trying to set you up to be the father because you were this military man?
I believe so, and that was my problem right from the start. I said, she just want me just because I'm in the military, and she couldn't find the other guy.
What I feel,
And then
Judge,
her-
There was
because
no other guy.
I had relatives of hers or friends of ours that called me and apologized.
What
that
did
I
these
told them that.
relatives say?
They said that Melanie was not my child.
I have 2 kids. I couldn't imagine leaving a child. Leaving a child. Look at that picture. I look like my kids. And I couldn't imagine leaving my kids abandoned with nothing, with no emotional support or anything else.
And then have no emotions whatsoever.
None.
As a man.
Did you know he had doubts? When he signed that affidavit acknowledging paternity, did you think that that was basically an acknowledgement even to you, like, yes, Melanie is mine after all
Yes.
these years, I just
Yes.
want to say,
And the
that's
other
what you
person
thought.
I know would have fought. They would have came. They would have fought.
So you're saying you never had any doubts because there were no other men.
I had never had any doubts.
But were there any other men?
No.
That's a 2-part question.
No, there were no other men. I don't know what he's talking about what he told me. There was no other men. She can attest to, even to this day, I had great thoughts of him. I never had anything negative thoughts of him because I still, to this day, felt that way. That he was a man I was in love with and that we were going to go off into the sunset with each other. And I never had, I spoke to Melanie the same way about him. for 35 years, and she can attest to that.
And you know what? After time, I didn't even want to hear anything about him. It took me to last year to say, you know what, for my kids, I'm gonna go ahead and go through with this. And that's when I contacted the courts.
And I went on with Facebook, and I looked his name up because I remember his name and everything about him. For me, I didn't know any of that until now. And it hurts for me to see and hear what he's saying, because that's not how I felt. That's just demeaning to me. Because I was in love with him. Whether he was in love with me or not, I was in love with him. And that was true. And I told my daughter this. And I told her it was her father. And all these years to realize that he never thought anything about me, do you know how hurtful that is? How much that hurts? Do you understand how much that hurt Mrs. Jackson?
I knew I wasn't gonna stick with her.
Wow.
And yet you just, listen, this happened in large part because of you, because of your actions.
Right, all
And
because
can I-
of me.
can I ask-
Because
And
I
now,
could've
why
said
didn't-
no.
Is
We've
that-
had,
I could've said-
but we've
could've
got a
kept
young,
my back.
we got a young woman who's experienced 35 years of pain and confusion. And let's be honest, it even got worse. You tried to make it better for you when you signed that affidavit acknowledging paternity.
Right.
But you just made it worse for her. They thought that was an acknowledgement that now I really do have a dad. So now where are you? And so then that was another level of disappointment and trauma for a young girl. But you were only doing it because you were just trying to make ends meet and you were trying to get the extra pay. So this saga, quite frankly, has gone on in 35 years.
And I would like to ask him, so is that the same reason why you want to come to my college graduation?
I did not want to come there
Well,
and
when I
pretend.
asked
There's
you,
no-
why
no-
not be honest? Why not?
Because in all actuality, I was coming. But I at the last minute, I said no.
Always at the last
That's
minute.
just
You want to
playing.
cop out.
It wouldn't be right if I didn't know for sure.
And you know what? It's like, even if I wasn't his, even if he had the doubt that I wasn't his, he still could have gave me a chance of knowing who my real dad is. And by him signing and not coming to acknowledge his fault and everything else that's going on, it did not leave me anything but
Disillusionment.
I think the only way we can possibly move forward is to get the answers. It's time for the results. Jerome?
Okay.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Jones Henry versus Jackson, when it comes to 35-year-old Melanie Jones, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Jackson, you are not the father.
Really? I didn't have anybody else.
He is not the father.
I did not.
You point all that blame on me, and you put your daughter through all that for nothing. That's just...
I don't blame you. I just wish you would have taken care of your business then so I wouldn't have to suffer now. I mean, I came here today for closure, and although he's not my dad, it's still closure for me because, you know, it's other situations that's involved in this, but he is, like, to me, he don't even have a heart to even ask, hey, what was going on at that time? He could have did anything but been there. And I'm not trying to make you feel bad, and I'm not saying that.
Well, I feel bad. I'm gonna tell you, I feel bad. I'm truly sorry.
Even though I know you felt like all these years you weren't wanted and you weren't loved, I think he came here today out of love for you. The hug. Oh, that's nice. All right, Ms. Douglas, you are suing the father of your 5 children for a paternity test. You claim at times the defendant, Mr. Jones, doesn't treat your daughter, Cheyenne, as his own, and that he has always been suspicious that he's not her biological father. You admit that you kept a secret from him and you cheated on him with his cousin, but say when that secret finally came out, he immediately denied fathering your daughter. You've also petitioned the court to order Mr. Jones to take parenting classes. Now, Mr. Jones, you say you wanted to be a family man and worked 2 jobs to support your kids, but now you are fed up with Ms. Douglas's lies and infidelity. You claim you have every reason to doubt you are Cheyenne's father. You are seeking a definitive answer when today's DNA results are revealed. Now, Ms. Douglas, you admit to cheating. Do you believe the defendant has reason to doubt the paternity of Cheyenne?
Yes, Your Honor, I do, because I did make a mistake. I slept with his cousin, and the condom had broke. But before that, Tyrone was downstairs sleeping with my cousin. He was still having sex with his baby's mom. He was doing him, basically, but yeah, I did.
That was a mouthful. You made a mistake and slept with his cousin.
Yeah.
But he was downstairs sleeping with your cousin?
Yes, and more. I don't cheat. I don't believe in cheating. I'm very faithful. But yes, he does him all the time. Yeah.
Wow. I want to find out how this relationship began. Before it got to sleeping with all the cousins, how did you meet? Was this relationship ever good?
It got good. I met Tyrone actually at a party that happened downstairs in my building. I met him and his cousin almost the same night. Me and Tyrone got together the first night we watched movies. The next night we did have sex, but we weren't together. We just had sex, and after that he went back to his other baby's mom. And then I met his cousin, and I slept with his cousin, but we weren't together. So yeah, I slept with his cousin, but after that I found out I was pregnant. I called him and I told him I was pregnant. He was basically like, okay. So I'm like, okay. I just never brought it back to his attention because I had 3 other kids I took care of by myself anyway. So I'm practically mom and dad. So I didn't pay no attention that he really didn't care. But a week before I had my daughter, he was actually there. He signed a birth certificate, and after that, he was a good dad.
All right, now, Mr. Jones, is that a good account of what your relationship was?
I mean, sort of. We actually wasn't in a relationship at the time when she slept with my cousin, but she basically just denied doing it up until the point. That's the reason we here now.
Okay. What did you feel, Mr. Jones, when you heard Ms. Douglas say, I'm pregnant and it's yours?
I wasn't too sure about it when she told me, but I'm like, okay, when she did tell me, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna step up and do what I gotta do.
So you did try to support her through this?
Yeah, I actually did.
I'm looking at you, Ms. Douglas, and you saying I didn't feel supported.
No, not at all. And let's go back to the cousin part. Like, when I did sleep with his cousin, I was gonna deny the whole thing, but he actually went in my room and actually smelled the bed and actually said it smelled like his cousin.
His cousin's cologne?
Yes,
I hope.
I was gonna deny it, but I was actually telling the truth. Yeah, his cousin was there, and he was just watching TV. So at first I was in denial, but I ended up telling him the truth, though. 2 years after my daughter was 2, I ended up telling him the truth.
So you go in and you smell, you know the cologne, your cousin, you say, okay, I know my cousin was here, but she denied everything. How long did it take you to tell the truth?
After my daughter was 2 years old.
Okay, so you are you in a committed relationship?
No.
You just going along for the baby's sake?
But when I was pregnant, he didn't care. He did not care at all.
Did you care?
I mean, I cared, but it was just to the point to where when I met her, she was pregnant by another guy who was actually incarcerated at the time, but she was also messing around with another guy who wasn't the father of the child she was pregnant with.
Was it any part of you that was excited? Did you?
I mean, it was, because I actually was there numerous of times during the pregnancy. It was just in the mix of that I had kids already, so I wasn't there like I should have been knowing she was pregnant with my child, because I wasn't really sure at the time.
All right, so the baby's born.
The baby's born. And when the baby was 2, he went to Chicago with his other's baby mama. We were together then, and I'm pregnant with his son. He went to Chicago. We didn't hear from him for about 4 months. Didn't call, check up on his daughter. Didn't call, check up on the pregnancy or nothing. How I knew he was in Chicago with his baby mama was she texted my phone like, oh, you're looking for your man? He's with me. You wonder why he's not calling your daughter? Because he's with me. That's how I knew he was in Chicago.
Were you with another one of your children's mother when you went to Chicago, like she's saying?
And
Yeah,
a lot
I
of
actually
people.
was.
And a lot
Because
of
I was
people.
actually with my other baby's mom before I was actually with Alexandra.
Okay.
It's confusing. It's very confusing. But now we're supposed to be together. He still talks to other people and his baby's mom, and I'm not doing nothing.
Okay. As I read the statement this morning, I recall saying you had 5 children.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah.
It's as if you're speaking about this thing like it's, oh, yeah, because I was with my other child's mother and I just went on to Chicago and then he went there. And, I mean, you all 5 children potentially together. This was your relationship ever committed? Was it ever an important thing to either one of you? Are we just making babies? Is it a baby factory? What is it?
After I had my daughter, it's like he was basically playing me. We weren't together, so I'm like, okay, anything you can do, I can do better. So, but after I had my son, that's when we actually started getting together. Like, I was being faithful to him. I thought he was being faithful to me, but it was nothing like that. I would get played. I would sit at home with the kids. He'd be in Chicago doing him. I want to be with him to death, but he can't stop talking to other people. He can't.
Even after child number 2, you think he's cheating?
Yeah. I just had my twins 7 months ago. He's still talking to women. I don't never talk to anybody first. After I find out he cheats on me, that's when I do it. But I really do want to be with him, and I want to make a family for my 5 kids.
Now, Ms. Douglas, you just keep saying, okay, now see, I do not believe in cheating. I do not believe in cheating. But when he does this, then I go do that. Now, at some point, the tit for tat, it just turns into a catastrophe. I mean, are you two supposed to be trying to be in a relationship right now?
We was, but yesterday he was texting a girl on Facebook, writing a girl on Facebook. We supposed to be together. We're working on us for our kids, and you're writing somebody on Facebook? And now he's trying to say, well, now he said, I don't even know if I should get a DNA test for the twins because you had sex with somebody when you were pregnant with my twins. When I was pregnant with your twins. So how is that their baby?
She actually slept with that person last month. My twins is only 6 months or 7 months.
Before I had sex with his cousin last month. It's always him that starts.
So wait a minute now. You had sex with his cousin again last month?
And he had sex with my cousin again 3 months ago, before I did it.
Okay. You said you don't believe in cheating.
No, I don't.
Why are you doing it then?
When I cheat on him, it's with the same person because I want to get back. I'm not going to sit around and be played, like I said. When I cheat on him, it's with one person.
And this is in no way condoning Mr. Jones's actions. I'll deal with him in a minute. But how in the world can you have 5 children that you believe are by a man, and every time he does something that betrays your trust, you sleep with his cousin or do something to get back at him, and yet you say you want to be in a relationship with him? It doesn't make sense.
That's what I'm thinking.
Now, don't you go co-signing. Don't you go co-signing because you're next.
Yeah.
How in the world can you potentially have 5 children with this woman and be so irresponsible and disrespectful that you continue to sleep with her family member?
My favorite cousin. My favorite cousin.
No, let me correct something. That's not your favorite cousin.
No, it ain't.
The day she laid down with your supposed father of your children, she's no longer your favorite cousin. Let me give you that.
I know.
The day you go do that, you have not just disrespected your would-be girlfriend, the potential mother of your 5 children, you're disrespecting the kids too. That's the family. That's their family. They have to go to holidays in that family. They have to play with their other little cousins in that family. Why you all traipsing around in the family why you keep sleeping with her cousin?
It's like this. If you say that this is my child and you steady go back to the same cousin who was there from day one that made me have these doubts, how could you continue to do that? You living your life as a man right now. Basically, every time I do something, you gotta go do it.
Okay, yeah, I slept with his cousin a month ago. After that, we both made a vow to each other that we're done. It's no more of it.
Okay.
I've kept my promise. I have not done nothing. He's doing everything. Just like I said yesterday on Facebook, he's talking to girls. I have not done nothing. I really do want to be with him. And it just doesn't look like he want to be with me. He says it, but obviously it's not what it is. He don't want to be with me, and he should be a man and say that.
What do you want?
I do want to be with her, but...
Do you really?
Yeah, I do. I honestly do.
No, that's why he keeps cheating. Why? I have not. Why did you write somebody on Facebook yesterday? We're together. We're supposed to be a little trip to ourselves, and you're texting somebody on Facebook? Why?
Basically, she started writing me, and I'm like, okay, I just responded to the text.
But on Facebook, it says we're engaged. So no other woman want to write him on Facebook. We're engaged on Facebook.
I mean, but look at me. You can't blame him.
I just play detective too much. That's my problem.
Mr. Jones.
Yes, Shauna.
That was great comic relief, but let's be very honest here.
Okay.
Let's be very honest here. It sounds like to me you keep stringing Miss Douglas along with the little carrot, giving her this feeling that one day, you're just gonna go ahead and commit to her. And every time it's all said and done and you all are through with each other and in the bed with each other's cousins, next thing you know, you all back together again and in the mess again. You got her thinking now she got engaged on her Facebook.
Yeah.
And you sitting up here talking about you don't know what you want to do.
I mean,
how does one person think they're engaged and the other person don't know what they're gonna do?
I know, but at the same time,
I never heard of such.
You don't question any
so what
engagement.
Do you want to do? Do you want to be with me?
If you actually sleeping with one of my cousins as of last month, and you talk about engagement,
you did the same
it really don't make sense. How could you even be in a committed relationship with me if I have doubts because you steady going back with the same cousin, which the whole reason I'm here is for the paternity.
It's okay, basically, right?
All right, I admit, I had
it's a different cousin.
2 things with 2 of her cousins, which, all right. But it's not like I'm here to question the paternity of their kids. I'm here to protect.
Oh, well, how big of you?
It's different.
You didn't bring it all the family and make it a family reunion.
I mean, I'm just saying, I didn't like her cousins is standing on the podium like right next to me, and I'm here to be questioned about the paternity of their kids, because it's not.
When it comes back, he is a father.
Right
I just wish he would get some parenting classes so he could be a good dad to all his kids.
Well, speaking of that, let's find out the results. Jerome, can you hand me the envelope, please?
Certainly, Your Honor. Here you go.
On that issue of parenting classes, I need to ask you a few things. How often are you involved with your children?
Every day.
Every day?
Except for when he's out with the girls.
Well, except when I'm at work, Your Honor.
Okay. There are instances when a court can order parenting classes, but I haven't heard testimony today that would substantiate any reason why I need to order Mr. Jones to parenting class. What I do feel is necessary is to advise and encourage you both to attend family and parenting classes together. The court is concerned about your relationship to the extent that it affects the kids. Mm-hmm. So I am not quite certain you two really need to be together. It's just a lot going on and messy in the family. And I don't know how you all are gonna be a couple and then have to go to Thanksgiving dinner and Christmas and the cousins are there. I don't know how this is gonna work. However, it's not for this court to figure out. What I just need to help you figure out is whether or not you can parent together, whether or not you're in a relationship, okay? You seem emotional, Ms. Douglas. What are you feeling?
I tried so hard, and I really do want to be with him. We have 5 kids that want us both in the household, and it just doesn't seem like it's gonna be like that. My daughter is everything. He means everything to my daughter. I just want to know, can you just tell him that he is the father?
So the results now will determine whether you have 4 children together or 5. So the results now will determine whether you have 4 children together or 5. These results, as prepared by DNA Diagnostics, are as follows. In the case of Douglas versus Jones, when it comes to 4-year-old Cheyenne, Mr. Jones, you are not 5.
She knew this from the beginning. Now I'm embarrassed, gotta face public humiliation because she didn't want to be honest before we came here.
Your Honor, I didn't know. I didn't even know the
You
kind
knew,
of busted.
man.
I didn't
You
even know
knew.
the kind of busted. How would I know if he's not the father when we're sleeping together every day? How would I know?
She told me, nah, I don't have no doubts.
Because
This
I
is your
didn't.
daughter.
I didn't at all. My daughter acts just like him and looks just like him to me. Man, now my daughter ain't gonna have a dad.
No, she gonna have a daddy.
That's hurting me the most.
Now, Mr. Jones, you are the biological father to 4, and I want you to be man enough, if necessary, to be the daddy to 5. You walk into this courtroom loving this little girl. It is perfectly okay to walk out loving her just the same.
That's crazy, because I do. I actually do. It's like, to me, that won't really even change the fact that I still want her to be my kid. I still love her.
I'm proud of you. No matter what happens from this day forward, you remember that. And you think of that little girl. She thinks the world of you. Don't let her down. Okay?
Yeah.
Court is adjourned.